So, now at the conclusion of your Emerging Web Technologies and Learning course, how would you define learning?
Well, anyone can say that learning is just a general task of acquiring new information, but it's more complex than that.
How so?
Learning has to be more than just acquired, but then analyzed, and properly applied to a real-world concept. If a student just memorizes everything but does not understand the application of the concept, did they really learn anything meaningful?
I see what you mean. We should show our students that learning can happen anywhere and find ways to grow, challenge and inspire them.
Exactly.
So what about your perspective on defining teaching?
With the ability to implement effective technology in the classroom, teachers are stepping away from the lectern to take on a more supportive and guide-like role.
Yes, I agree. Teaching is now not just seen as a job to pass on facts and lessons, but to help students acquire knowledge-building skills.
The process of teaching really has moved from standing in front of the students to a supportive role that stands next to the student as they help navigate through their own self-guided path.
So, has your philosophy changed from the beginning of your course?
In the beginning I was more focused on explaining how a teacher can get their students to learn, not how to encourage and guide their learning.
Yes, sometimes as a new teacher you can get caught up in worrying about those ideas and creating the perfect worksheet or test.
Absolutely, my main focus should be to provide the best tools and skills so they can learn effectively, not only in school, but after as well.
I see how that can be an important focus for you as a teacher, so how do you feel learning happens?
A quote from Minds on Fire that we read in class really held true for me. A student's passion can set the stage for the student to acquire both deep knowledge about a subject. Learning can happen when the student is truly engaged with the content.
I agree. I know that I learn a concept better if I am invested and interested in the content. And with web tools through the internet, I participate in discovery-based learning without a formal classroom atmosphere.
Yes, and this also shows the new role that teachers and students are playing in the ecology of learning. The traditional roles are modifying as technology provides more opportunities.
So how do you perceive the role of the teacher?
Teachers are now helping students find ways to discover knowledge instead of giving them information to just memorize. And like you said, this can all happen outside of the classroom.
Students have the ability to take on self-guided educational experiences and be motivated by their own intrinsic desire to learn.
Yes, and I know there are key signs that I can see when those students are truly learning.
What do you usually see when your students are learning?
I normally try to take a base point of where my students are starting at to be able to get a feel for their progress during my class.
So you only base learning on their testing and grades?
No, but it's good to know where they start at. I know that looking across my classroom there is always a bit of controlled chaos occurring.
So what does that look like?
Students asking great questions, of not only me, but their peers. If they are able to discuss, question and analyze a concept, I know they are learning. I also see my students troubleshooting and testing concepts in class as well.
Is there anything else?
The biggest thing I love to see is failure.
You want your kids to fail?
Yes, because I know they are learn and then modifying their work every time they encounter failure. I encourage my kids to try to fail at something every day to learn something new.
Okay, that is a few great ways to see learning happening. So do you think that technology really has a strong role in your learning philosophy?
Absolutely. As a technology and engineering teacher, it is my primary focus to teach my students to become technologically literate and assist them to develop a deeper understanding of technology in all of its various applications. In the context of my learning philosophy, students should learn how to utilize technology to help guide them through their learning process. From learning, analyzing and then applying, technology can now provide students more context to base their education on. I still believe that technology should be viewed in a supplemental manner, allowing students to still utilize their own creativity and brains to begin approaching a problem.
So how are you going to implement technology in your class in the future?
Our next project we will utilize Autodesk Inventor, which is a 3D parametric modeling system to effectively communicate their ideas and designs.
So the entire lesson is on the computer?
No, before we implement the concepts behind that technology, students are expected to be able to measure, sketch and brainstorm their ideas before they even touch the computer. Once they have acquired these new concepts and analyzed their functions, they will be able to utilize this technology to fully apply and troubleshoot their designs.
That sounds like a fun way to encourage creativity, problem solving and teamwork skills as they design and create custom Lego bricks and minifigure accessories.
It is. I hope our conversation helped you to better understand my perspective and philosophy of learning.